Welcome to Football with Cheese. So it looks like the technical issue has been fixed. The AFC North draft recap went down really well. So hopefully this one works as well. We're going to talk about the NFC East. I've been looking forward to this one, mainly because they all had good drafts. Maybe not great drafts. I wouldn't say any of these teams had the best. I don't rank the drafts, but they would all probably be in my top 10. So make sure you are subscribed so you never miss a video. At the end, I will link the AFC North and the NFC North draft recaps. And if you didn't see me on the Sports Truth podcast, I was on there Tuesday night and we were recapping the draft. I will put the link in the description, so make sure you check that out. Okay, let's get into it. We're going to start with the Philadelphia Eagles. So the Eagles tried to trade up for Jihad Campbell. Many teams. The rumor was they even called the Pittsburgh at 21. Someone even reported the Packers and Eagles were about to make a trade, and then they ended up deleting the tweet. So it obviously didn't go down. Green Bay probably wanted a lot more than the Eagles were willing to give up. And the Packers just really like Matthew Golden. And my guess is they weren't willing to give it up, and it's a good move because Jihad Campbell kept falling. They did move up one spot from 32 to 31, gave up a fifth rounder. I don't like moving up one spot because they could have had him anyway, but they really liked Campbell, obviously. So what I read online is that Campbell has a shoulder injury. He might not be able to start the season, but the Eagles didn't care. They don't have a lot of needs. They just won the Super Bowl. So the Eagles do it again. They get a player coming off an injury that should have gone maybe top 15. They get him at 31. They got Cooper DeJean at pick 40 last year. Why the team's letting the Eagles do this, I do not know. Andrew Mukuba, safety Texas. He can also play slot corner. They lost CJ Gardner-Johnson to the Texans, so they needed a safety. I guess the big criticism for the Eagles draft is they didn't address right guard or defensive line in day one or two. But I get it. The value was there for Campbell, and Mukuba feels a need at safety. In the fourth round, they got Ty Robinson, Nebraska. Love this pick. He was in my top 100. He's an undersized interior rusher. He'll replace Milton Williams. Mac McWilliams in the fifth round. He is undersized, and he's probably a zone corner only. That's why he's available in the fifth round. But that fits perfectly with the Eagles scheme. They run primarily zone, so really good value. Smile Mondon Jr., hope I said that right, from Georgia. Another great pick. He's about 222 pounds. If he was 235 pounds, he'd be gone. Probably gone day two. But he is a freak athlete, so much speed. At worst, he'll be special teams. Maybe he can put on some weight and eventually be a starter. That Eagle linebacker room is looking really talented and really deep. Drew Kendall, a player I liked a lot, center from Boston College. Might be a center only, which is why he's available late fifth round. But he can be a backup to Cam Jurgens, and the Eagles value the center position higher than most because of the tush push, so you need a good backup center. Kyle McCord, quarterback Syracuse, why not? He's got a cannon arm, can make all the throws, and if he's got a clean pocket, he's fine. His accuracy is quite inconsistent, and if you get pressure on him, that's when you can get into trouble, but maybe he can develop into a good backup. The question I had with this draft was Myles Hinton. I thought he was more undrafted free agent. He's got size and length, but he's got bad feet. He did not do well in the shuttle. Probably has to move into guard. But at 6'7", that's tall for a guard. I just thought he was more of a priority free agent. So that's really the one issue I have with the Eagles. All four of these teams, I just have one issue with their draft. Otherwise, they did great. And the reason why I had an issue is Cameron Williams is a better prospect. The offensive tackle from Texas, who they picked 16 picks later. So Cameron Williams needs a lot of technique work. He likes to bend at the waist, and in the NFL, you can't do that. You have to bend at the knees. Just real sloppy technique at times. He got burned in that huge play by Jack Sawyer, the strip fumble that changed the whole game. Texas had a chance to tie it up. Instead, they lost by 14. What Cameron Williams should have done, because he's got length, size, athleticism, he should have come back for another year in Texas, moved from right tackle to left tackle, improved his technique, proved he can play left tackle, and he might have been a first or second round pick because he's got that much talent. So why not, Eagles? See if you can develop him. Might take a few years, and he could be the long-term replacement for Lane Johnson. And Antoine Powell-Ryland, edge rusher, late sixth round, another good pick. Thought he'd go in the fourth, fifth round at worst. He's got short arms, only 31 inches. That's probably why he's available. But at worst, he can probably be a rotational pass rusher. The Eagles just got good value every pick. The only one I really had a problem with is Miles Hinton. I did not think he'd be drafted. Next, let's go to Washington. So another team that had a really good draft. I liked all their picks. I had one issue, and I'll go over that in a second. So Josh Connolly Jr., 29th overall. That's about where I had him going. Didn't love him as a left tackle prospect, but because they traded for Laramie Tunsil to play left tackle, Connolly Jr. can play right tackle. They've upgraded both spots now. Their biggest weakness last year was offensive line, and it might be a strength this year. Trey Amos. I'm not sure how he fell to the end of the second round. He's a pressman corner who had success in the SEC and ran a 4.43. I thought he'd be gone by the 40s at worst, and there were rumors he could sneak into the end of the first round, so unbelievable value for Washington. They obviously did not have third and fifth round picks because they traded for Tunsil and Deebo Samuel. So they took Jalen Lane, Virginia Tech, in the fourth round. Jalen Lane ran a 4.340, and he's great at yards after catch. Just doesn't have the quick get off. And with slot receivers, because he's going to play slot, typically you want a better get off. Like Jalen Noel, for example, Iowa State receiver, went to the Texans, has such a quick get off, so he went higher than Lane. But my biggest issue with this pick is not taking Lane. This is pretty good value. It's that Jalen Royals was on the board from Utah State, who to me is a much better prospect than Lane. He's got a much better get off and just overall better prospect, but I don't have a problem with the pick. It's just who was available. Cam Madrano, UCLA linebacker. He's undersized. Probably will never be a starter, but he could be a stud on special teams. And then Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, to me, this is one of the best values in the draft. He's a running back from Arizona. Only played one game because of eligibility concerns. He can do a little bit of everything. Could improve as a pass catcher, but all-around great player. I would not be surprised if he develops into a starter. And they got him at pick 245 out of 257. Crazy. Okay, next up, we're going to go with Dallas Cowboys. Another great draft. The one problem I had was Tyler Booker, guard, 12th overall. It was just a reach. I had him ranked 26th. Most people had him late first round, early second. I just wish they had traded back and gotten more picks or a future pick next year. But he's a mauler. His film looks incredible. He's just not going to be able to be a pull guard. He doesn't have the athleticism to move. I think he's a better athlete than his workout showed, but he's definitely not a pull guard. But they do have Tyler Smith at left guard that is athletic, that can be the pull guard. But I understand this pick. Jerry Jones loves offensive line, and Nick Martin retired, their potential Hall of Fame right guard, so it was a huge need. But the rest of this draft was incredible. Their day two was one of the best day twos I've seen in a long time. Donovan Ezeraku, edge from Boston College. I had him 17th on the board. He should have gone first round. He has production. He has length. He has athleticism. I do not understand this. The one issue is his size. He's about 6'2", 248. Probably can't put on more weight. His frame's probably maxed out. But I don't care. Designated pass rushers go in the first round. Last year, Chop Robinson went 20th overall. Will McDonald went, I think, 15th 2 years ago from Iowa State to the Jets. And Ezeraku, to me, is a better prospect than both of them. He falls to the 12th pick of the second round. And then Savon Ravel Jr., if he did not get hurt, he would have been a first-round pick. I had him 25th on the board. He's got size. He's got length. He does have the knee injury, and he is 23 years old. So I think teams were just worried that maybe he's a 4.6 guy, but his ball skills are incredible. The tape was a little inconsistent, but his high was incredible. Just an absolute steal in the third round. I cannot believe some of the teams that need corners passed on him in the second round. He is worth the risk. Jaden Blue, 5th round from Texas. He probably projects as a third down back only, but good value there in the 5th round. Shamar Stewart, linebacker, Florida. You've heard me say this before. He's about 220, 222 pounds. He's just undersized, probably can't start, but should be a great special teamer. Ajani Cornelius, Oregon. I thought he could go in the 4th round. He was a right tackle at Oregon. Probably projects to a guard, but I think he can develop into a starting guard, and that's good depth for their offensive line. Jay Toya, I don't know if I pronounced that right. He's a nose tackle only. Every team needs a 330, 340 pounder, especially against the tush push because they're going against the Eagles twice a year. Phil Maffa from Clemson, running back. He is a power back only. He's not going to give you anything in the passing game. Old school type player. red zone back. I saw some people thought he could go 4th or 5th round and others that didn't think he should be drafted. But why not in the 7th round? He could, at worst, he's your goal line back, and that's good value for the end of the draft. And then Tommy, oh God, I don't even want to say his name, defensive tackle, Maryland. Probably never as a starter, but he's a high effort guy. Maybe backs up at 3 technique, but worth a shot late in the draft. Okay, and we have one more team left, the New York Giants. Once again, another great draft. They had maybe the best draft of anyone last year. Like if you're grading after 1 year, they got production from pretty much their entire draft last year. Abdul Carter, 3rd overall pick. I had him number 2 on the board. He's an incredible talent, incredible athlete. He's only been an edge rusher for 1 year. He played off-ball linebacker, and as the season went on, he got better and better. Just a no-brainer pick for the Giants, such an elite player. The one issue I had with the Giants draft is I'm just not high on Jackson Dart. I think he can be a good backup. I just don't think he's a franchise quarterback. Giants think differently. Good news is they didn't pass on Abdul Carter and take a quarterback at 3. That would have been a major reach. And they only gave up 2 third-rounders to move back from the Texans, and one of them was a late 3rd round this year, the 99th pick. So that's not a lot to give up to move back into the 1st round and draft a quarterback. But to me, Dart just doesn't have the downfield accuracy you need to succeed in the NFL. Maybe he can get better. Brian Daboll, the head coach, certainly got a lot out of Josh Allen when he was in Buffalo, and you know, the Giants had success last time they drafted Ole Miss quarterback Eli Manning. So, Darius Alexander, 1st pick of the 3rd round. Wow, thought he'd go top 50. After the Senior Bowl, there was talk he could go 1st round, and for some reason, he just fell. But this is great value. Giants probably have the most talented defensive line in the NFL. I think Darius Alexander could be their starting 3 technique this year. Cam Skattebo, another great pick. Giants just sat there with their last 5 picks and took players that should have gone at least a round or 2 higher. They're like, okay, if you don't want to take them, we're going to take them. Skattebo, he breaks tackles. He's an absolute stud. He can catch the ball. He doesn't have the long speed, but his jumps were incredible. He's going to be a starting running back in the NFL. I would not be shocked if he is their starter in week 1. Marcus Bow, Purdue. I had him 61 on the board. Really athletic, played right tackle at Purdue. Projects to play inside. Most people saw him as a guard, but I had him higher than this because I think he can develop into a center as well. I'm shocked that he fell this far, maybe because he's only about 300 pounds. A lot of teams want 320, 325 pounders, but this could be an absolute steal. He needs to get stronger, but maybe in 2026 he can be their starting center. And then Thomas Fedone, the 2nd, Nebraska tight end. If it wasn't for 2 ACL surgeries, he would have gone probably 3rd round. He's athletic. He's a willing blocker. He's good after the catch, but worth a 7th round flyer. If he can't stay healthy, so what? It's just a 7th round pick. And Corey Black, I thought he could go in the 5th round. He's 6 foot 190. He's a good pressman corner. He's got size and speed. I did a lot of work on Corey because I thought he was a good fit for Green Bay. The big issue with him was he doesn't play the ball, doesn't track it well, so he tend to grab. If you can fix that, I think he can develop into a starting corner. Just a great draft by the Giants. The only issue I had was I'm just not high on Jackson Dart. So that is the NFC East. All 4 teams did well. The Eagles are still the king of this division, no doubt about it, but it should be fun to watch because I think every team got better. And Jerry Jones, he's not the worst drafting GM out there, but he's definitely not the best. After having 2 bad drafts in a row, Jerry Jones and the Cowboys really needed a draft like this. So next up is AFC East, so look out for that. If you have not subscribed, please do so now and enable alerts so you never miss a video. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like. Comment down below which of these teams do you think did the best. Real quick, before I go, let's check out the grades consensus board. The Giants were 2nd. I don't know if I'd have had them that high, but they would probably be in my top 5, but I get it. They had the Eagles at 5th. That's about right. Cowboys are at 7th. If it wasn't for the reach of Tyler Booker, Cowboys to me would be number 1 on this consensus board. Their draft was that good. And Washington, they're 19th. That's way too low. I think they should be in the top 10. I think they're hurt by the fact they traded their 3rd and 5th round picks for Tunsil and for Debo. But still, Washington got great value with all their picks. Okay, so if you've not checked out the NFC North and AFC North videos, they're in these boxes right there. Share this video with anyone who loves football so we can grow the channel. I think I'm almost at 100 subscribers. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it to everyone, and I will see you in the next video.